and how fast these mass deportation plans will go into place is yet to be seen.
Anna, thank you so much. You can catch Anna Koyman every Saturday and Sunday at 1 p.m. Eastern, 12 p.m. Central. And this weekend, Anna digs deeper on how these day one deportations could play out. Hey, it's the top of the hour, and we have more news for all Americans, and it begins right now.
The embers were so big and flying like a firestorm that I had to save myself.
Right now, multiple quick-moving wildfires are burning through L.A., a new one popping up overnight, threatening some of Hollywood's most iconic sites. At least 5 people are dead. More than 2,000 homes and buildings have been destroyed. The 2 largest fires burning tens of thousands of acres. Each is at 0% containment. We're live on the ground with team coverage as overworked crews try to save lives and homes. And we have new details about the nationwide rush to get resources to California. Plus,
President Carter was the first person I ever voted for, first time I was able to vote.
I think his character is something that people remember.
Also today, former President Jimmy Carter will be laid to rest after lying in state at the U.S. Capitol. We're in Washington with the 39th president's official state funeral and the honors given to the longtime humanitarian. It's all right here on Morning in America. Good morning, I'm Nick Smith. We start this morning with breaking news in Southern California. The deadly wildfires burning across the Los Angeles area, reducing entire neighborhoods to embers and ash. One of the latest fires to break out late Wednesday is now burning through areas of the Hollywood Hills. More than 7,000 firefighters and emergency responders have been deployed to L.A. to work directly with local and federal partners to help evacuees and anyone with injuries. The inferno's already taking the lives of at least 5 people, some of whom couldn't make it out in time or chose to stay behind to try to protect their homes. Others making harrowing last-minute escapes as fire surrounded their neighborhoods and they realized they just couldn't stay. Tens of thousands of people across the L.A. area now displaced by those fast-moving flames. Some already know they've lost their homes to those fires, including several celebrities sharing their heartbreak at the devastation. Others still don't know what they'll come back to when the fires finally subside. We have full team coverage on those wildfires this morning and the destruction, the response also, and how the weather is playing into the efforts to put them out. But let's start with NewsNation's Xavier Walton on the ground in Southern California. Xavier, show us what's going on where you are.
Hey, Nick, good morning. Yeah, for another day, families waking up to this devastation as a fire truck goes just behind me. Now, this is something that we have been seeing all morning long. Fire trucks certainly passing by and checking on different hot spots. And we're going to walk across the street here, and here's why. I mean, everywhere you go, you see cars like this, completely charred. Obviously, this has been here for a little while. And then you see active fires like this home. And since we've been here, we actually watched and heard, it was a loud crash, heard the garage cave in. And then we watched the fire crews come in and kind of sprayed. Obviously, this home is a total loss. But what they were doing when I talked to the fire crews, they said they were spraying the fire to make sure that the flames wouldn't spread to the house next door. Now, as you're looking at this house, keep in mind, you know, obviously the winds have died down, but you see the embers going up into the night sky. Obviously, it's the early morning here. That is still a main concern here, is watching out for other fires starting, watching out for hot spots as you see what's left over here. Again, more than 1,000 structures, including 2 schools, destroyed, so to speak. Essentially, at this point, Nick, they're trying to make sure that these situations, these fires don't spark up and get even worse. But certainly with zero containment, like you mentioned off the top, the level of concern is still there. We spoke to at least one family coming in this morning to pick up their belongings, and they said watching everything play out on the news in real time, they were just absolutely terrified.
Absolutely, and our hearts go out to each of them. Xavier, thank you so much. Let's bring in NewsNation's Brooke Schaefer. Brooke, question. Crews from around the country are dropping everything to help out. What kind of resources are states actually bringing to L.A.?
Nick, several states answering those calls for help. Firefighters from states neighboring California, they are already on the ground helping to put out those growing fires. Late yesterday, strike teams from Oregon, they geared up and got on the road, mobilizing 15 teams, 300 firefighters, and 75 engines.
We've been able to help them in the past, and we're standing ready to jump in these rigs and head down there today and go return the favor yet again.
And teams from Nevada, Washington, and Arizona are also on the way. The Phoenix Fire Department said that they expect to be in LA in the next few days as they wait for more details on exactly what is needed today. Those extra crews will, of course, be joining California firefighters who are working around the clock. Governor Gavin Newsom said with the federal, state, and local help, there are now nearly 7,500 men and women helping to put out these flames, and those teams telling us they need all the help they can get.
We're getting as many resources as we can get from throughout the state of California. We can always use more, especially with this strength of wind. We could put an engine at every house and still have trouble with these 80-mile-an-hour gusts that we're seeing here on this fire. So the more the better. We'll take as much as we can get. I know there's more resources on their way as we speak.
And states on the other coast of the country, from New York to Florida, they are also saying that they're ready to go. They're on standby if needed. Nick?
Quickly, what do we know about the federal response to these fires?
Well, Nick, President Biden approved a major disaster declaration for California. The U.S. Forest Service, they've got air tankers working with extra ones on the way. Federal firefighting helicopters are there and ready as long as the winds allow. And FEMA approved a grant to reimburse the state for firefighting costs. We know the California National Guard has also been deployed, and Navy helicopters with water delivery buckets are being sent to the area. So a lot of help is on the way, and it is very much needed this morning. Nick?
Brooke, thank you so much. We appreciate that. Let's take a look at live pictures right now out of Southern California, where firefighters are actively fighting this blaze. We understand that what they're doing right now is they're actually using water from a pool from another home to try to put out those flames. Again, firefighters doing everything they can to try to save as many structures as possible and stop the fire from spreading to other homes. Right now, you're looking live at what we're seeing here in LA County, California, where crews have been working tirelessly. Many of them are working for the 72nd hour. Remember, these fires started on Tuesday, and these crews have been working nonstop. Other resources are headed to the area, but right now they're doing everything that they can to reduce the amount of damage to neighborhoods. And we're taking a live picture at this right now. You know, our Xavier Walton has been on the ground also watching the devastation and things from this fire. We'll continue to follow this coverage. And right now, I want to bring in the president of the California Professional Firefighters Union, Brian K. Rice. Mr. Rice, good morning, and thank you so much for joining us. I know that you've been busy, but there's a lot happening right now on the ground, and we just showed a picture where fire crews on the ground there are actually using pool water to try to fight the blaze. Another example of crews trying to do anything they can to reduce the damage.
That's true, Nick. And although that may seem unusual, it's very common. These wildfires that are these conflagrations like this, we do see issues almost right away with the water supply system, whether it's a gravity-fed, augmented by electrical power, and it is so taxing on the water systems. They're not designed to deliver water at a high volume capacity to every home in a neighborhood with their sprinklers running, feed the fire hydrants for the fire engines. And that makes the firefighters have to do anything and everything they can to draft water out of different sources. And it's fairly common to see floato pumps put in pools, hose lines laid out from floato pumps to houses surrounding that area. So to hear that it does not surprise me. We're going to have water issues with this fire until it's out in these areas. And it's not because we don't have any water. The system is overloaded. You know, you think about every house you see burned down, there's a real possibility that the water is free flowing because pipes have failed. There's nobody to shut it down at the main shutoff. And then think about the hundreds of fire engines that are trying to connect up and fill their tanks and do a sustained water supply off a fire hydrant. we're hearing a lot of discussion about a lot of different things. And for me, I kind of want to stay away from it in that the system is overloaded. And that's just common in this kind of a fire situation in this interface area. And ingenuity is the name of the game. Right now, firefighters, they look for every opportunity to stop forward progress or save buildings, but their primary focus right now is lives, making sure nobody's in there.
I'm so glad you broke that down for us, because you too have heard the criticism about why wasn't there more water? Why weren't they prepared for this? And you just broke it down that we are prepared, but we can't force this water that we don't have.
That's true. And it's the water systems. They're fragile. We saw similar things in Lahaina. When the water system goes down, that affects everything. It affects us. The electrical system, you see that both power and communication utilities are some of the first to fail in these wildfire situations. The one thing that is alarming here is it's the population base that lives in the Palisades and getting into Santa Monica. Now you're just seeing we have a lot of people living down there, and this fire is kind of transitioned from a brush fire into these neighborhoods, and the fuel, rather than being straight brush and chamise and shrubs and all those things, now it's the houses. And right now, the one thing, if you asked any firefighter if they could control one thing in this fire, it would be the wind. Eliminate the wind and take the weather out of the equation. And until we see improving weather conditions, it's just going to be near impossible for firefighters to begin to get their containment lines set in. The wind is so critical in this situation.
There are parts of like Malibu along the PCH where you can see straight to the water, and usually, those homes block that view and you don't see that. Brian, I do have a question for you before I let you go, though. This new fire raging in the Hollywood Hills is threatening densely populated areas of LA. How are crews tackling this and as they continue to fight these fires?
Much the same way that they've attacked the fire in the neighborhoods in the Palisades. As it moves into the Hollywood Hills, we're still in that situation. Get people out. And I'll leave you with this. If you don't live in the area, don't go to sightsee. It's dangerous, and it's not dangerous just because of down power lines and the fire and fire apparatus trying to get in and out. The smoke is a toxic soup. You're talking about buildings that are burning, that are filled with furnishings that are made out of textiles. They have different kind of chemicals in the textiles for stain resistance, flame resistance, and it makes a toxic soup. It is incredibly dangerous for firefighters, and we have to deal with it. But if you don't live there, don't go there. And then the second thing is, if you live in the Hollywood Hills, pay attention, have good situational awareness, know where the fire front is, know the direction of the wind, where it is and where it's going, and prepare yourself to evacuate now. If you hear an evacuation order and you have to locate your pets or get your spouse or load your car, you're already approaching too late. It's better to be prepared and leave early so that we don't see gridlock, so you don't see people trapped in the streets trying to get out. We can, as residents, do things to prepare us for that evacuation. And that would be my number one thing. It's a very dangerous situation. The air quality is terrible. And if you don't live there, don't go to look.
President of the California Professional Firefighters, Brian K. Rice. Thank you so much, Mr. Rice, for joining us this morning.
You're welcome.
You and your crew stay safe. Our NewsNation affiliate in LA has been following these fires since the first flames. Let's listen in on their live coverage.
Several days for us to restore power, and so customers should be prepared for possible extended and intermittent outages.
And in terms of the counties being affected by these outages, can you give us a breakdown on that?
Look, there's really a lot, unfortunately. I mean, this is like nothing, we've ever experienced before. The counties include Santa Ana, San Bernardino, LA, Ventura, coastal Los Angeles, Orange County, Kern County. I mean, it really spans so much of our service area.
And where do people go if they want to find out more specifically about their area? Because I know you touched on it, and it's been addressed. They want to know when they're going to get their power back on, and we've already established that there is no specific answer. You have to. We learned yesterday that your crews actually have to go back out and inspect the lines before they re-energize them, and that's a process. So even if you think because the winds have died down, you can turn them back on, you have to verify that.
Absolutely. I mean, again, this is because of our safety concerns and because of these extreme wind conditions. And we need to make sure that it's safe to turn the power back on and it's safe for our crews to get out there and do these inspections. If customers want to check their particular area, please go to sce.com/outages. Again, sce.com/outages.
And I'm guessing that your main messaging for people watching, people who have friends and family affected by this, is probably patience at this point.
Well, I think that patience and also safety. You know, I mean, we want to remind people to stay safe. And if they see a downed power line, please do not touch it or anything or put anything in contact with it, or touch anything in contact with it, and stay at least 100 feet away. Call 911 immediately.
And I just want to make crystal clear when we talk about the outages. I want to make sure that I heard this correct. 341,000 people within the 5-county viewing area that we're talking about here are currently without power that are SoCal Edison customers, and roughly about half of those are power shutoffs as a precautionary measure. The other half are lines directly impacted by fire or wind or weather of some kind that are down.
That's correct. However, it is larger than just 5 counties.
Again, we were listening in on live coverage from our partners KTLA in LA, who have been covering the fires since the first flames. I want to get to NewsNation meteorologist Max Saperis. Max, the unusually strong winds fanned those fires, but today, will things be a little bit better?
Winds are going to lighten up here, Nick, but still a couple more days of fire weather risks to track before we see big improvements heading into the weekend. Now, let's put this into perspective. There are 5 wildfires raging right now in LA County. Since Tuesday, nearly 27,000 acres have burned. That's nearly half the size of Washington, D.C., to put that in perspective for you. The largest of those blazes not contained at all. Now, we had fires in the region past couple months. Those didn't get anywhere close to this size, and those took weeks to burn that much. So that just shows the historic nature of these winds fanning these flames, causing them to spread out of control. But look at the improvement. Winds at around 10 to 30 mile per hour gusts at this hour. And that's a big improvement from yesterday, where they were up to 70 to 90 miles per hour. Later this afternoon, up to around 30 mile per hour wind gusts still possible, but the highest winds will be south and east of the LA metro. And then as we look at tonight, it's a similar setup. I think through Friday is really when we'll see big improvements as we see the winds slack off heading into Saturday. So we still have a critical wildfire risk today for much of Southern California, and that's because weather conditions could aid any of those fires that break out to still get out of control. That's still a downgrade, though, from the extreme category from yesterday, and we'll see a downgrade more so tomorrow into an elevated risk. As for the air quality, look at this. Nick, some of the worst air quality in the world right now is across the LA basin, because even though the majority of that smoke is moving offshore with those winds, we're seeing that settle across Los Angeles now in that unhealthy air quality category. So again, these are far-reaching impacts, even for folks that aren't evacuating. They're still breathing in that very unhealthy smoke that we were hearing from our guests previously, just how dangerous it is to breathe that in for a long amount of time.
Exactly, Mac. We're talking about Brian Rice, the president of the California Professional Firefighters, who called that smoke a toxic soup.
Yeah, just a mess.
Yeah. NewsNation meteorologist Max Saperis, thank you so much. We're continuing our live breaking news coverage of the Southern California wildfires. We'll check back in with our own Xavier Walton at the scene of the worst fire in Los Angeles history. Also, today, the late President Jimmy Carter will be laid to rest. National leaders and the public getting their chance to pay their last and final respects. We'll have details on today's state funeral and how the 39th president is being remembered.
NewsNation is news for all Americans.
What's up,
You seem kind of sluggish today.
Things aren't really moving.
You could use some Metamucil.
Metamucil psyllium fiber helps keep your digestive system moving so you can feel lighter and more energetic. Metamucil keeps you moving.
And try the 2-week challenge at Metamucil.com.
Watch your step. Oh. That's why VisionWorks makes it simple to schedule an eye exam that works for you, even if you have a big trip to plan around.
Thanks.
I mean, I could see you right now. That's convenient. VisionWorks. See the difference.
Let's Monopoly go! Friends are like money.
Kiki, I won again?
They make everything more fun. And you can never have enough. Toodaloo.
Not again.
Your cold is coming! Your cold is coming!
Thanks, Revere.
We really need to keep Zycam in the house.
Only if you want to shorten your cold. When you feel a cold coming, shorten it with Zycam.
New projects means new project managers. You need to hire.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. When you sponsor a job on Indeed, it's easier for talented candidates to find it, which makes it easier for you to hire them. Visit Indeed.com/hire.
Mike Huckabee here for Vinia, the remarkable red grape superfood for better blood flow. I've taken Vinia every day for 3 years. It's been a life changer for me. The science is sound. In a 90-day clinical trial, Vinia significantly increased the dilation of arteries. This dilation increases blood flow. Better blood flow gives me the physical energy I want. Better blood flow means more oxygen can go to my brain to give me the mental alertness that I need to be at the top of my game. Call or go online to get your first month free. Guaranteed results are your money back.
At Fisher Investments, we may look like other money managers, but we're different.
How so?
We're a fiduciary, obligated to act in our clients' best interest, so we don't sell any commission-based products.
Then how do you make money?
We have a simple management fee, structured so we do better when our clients do better.
Your clients really come first then, huh?
Yes, we make them a top priority by getting to know their finances, family, health, lifestyle, and more.
Wow. Maybe we are different.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different.
Vicks VapoStick provides soothing, non-medicated Vicks vapors. Easy to apply for the whole family. Vicks VapoStick. And try new Vapo Shower Max for steamy Vicks vapors.
Safe Light Repair. Safe Light Replace.
Nobody likes a cracked windshield. But at least you can go to SafeLight.com and schedule a fix in minutes.
Can confirm. Very easy.
SafeLight can come to you for free. And our highly trained techs can replace your windshield right at your home.
Safe Light Repair. Safe Light Replace.
Go to SafeLight.com and schedule a replacement today.
Attention Optimum subscribers. You could soon lose the full range of our programming you pay for. That means losing News Nation, news for all Americans. Call 888-276-5255 to keep your News Nation.
News Nation, with affiliate KTLA, was the first cable news network on the scene.
It's one of the only things that are left standing.
Yeah, it tells you about America. The flag is not going to go away. We're going to unite and help each other.
News Nation is there when you need to know.
Welcome back. 23 minutes after the hour. We continue to follow breaking news out of L.A., where firefighters are still trying to stop several wildfires burning across the area. Right now, you're looking live at the Pacific Palisades community. At least 130,000 people are under evacuation orders, and those fires have been confirmed to have claimed the lives of 5 people. Thousands of buildings have been destroyed since the fire started Tuesday. Officials believe this could wind up being California's worst disaster to date. And right now, you're looking live at the Capitol building in Washington, D.C. Right now, you're looking live at the Capitol building in Washington, D.C., where visitation for late President Jimmy Carter has ended, ahead of his state funeral for today. He's been lying in state in D.C. Now, President Biden has declared today a national day of mourning, and all 5 living presidents will attend President Carter's service at the Washington National Cathedral, set to begin at 10 a.m. Eastern. NewsNation's Tom Dempsey has the details on today's services from outside the National Cathedral in Washington. Tom, what can we expect today, and who will be giving the President Carter's eulogy?
Hey, good morning from Washington, D.C., Nick, where later this morning that casket holding the remains of former President Jimmy Carter will leave the United States Capitol and head here to the Washington National Cathedral located just behind me. We're expecting thousands of people to be part of that state funeral, with President Joe Biden delivering the official eulogy, and all the living presidents expected to be here today. We're talking about Presidents Barack Obama, Bill Clinton, George W. Bush, and President-elect Donald Trump. This is will be the 5th state funeral that the National Cathedral hosts, the most recent one being back in 2018 for George H.W. Bush. The occasion today will feature family members reading Bible verses, the U.S. Marine Chamber Orchestra playing music, and a special honor guard. This comes as thousands of Americans, including President-elect Trump, have paid their respects to President Carter, while his remains have lied and stayed inside the Capitol for the past 2 days.
I think that he is just an inspiration in terms of his civility, kindness, politeness, his public service, his professionalism. I think that he really embodies a lot of values that I'd like to see come back to this country.
You know, as a gentleman, I admired the way that he lived a very humble lifestyle as a president.
Ahead of the president's eulogy today, the White House team sent NewsNation this statement from the president saying, quote, "Former President Carter was a man of great character and courage, hope and optimism. He showed that we are a great nation because we are a good people, decent and honorable, courageous and compassionate, humble and strong." And Nick, after today's funeral at the cathedral, Carter's family and his remains will travel back to Georgia for a private funeral service at the same Baptist church where Carter actually taught Sunday school after he left the White House. He'll then be buried next to his wife near the home they shared together for decades. The Carter Foundation is very much encouraging the public to come out here in Washington, D.C. To celebrate the life of the former president as the procession goes through the district. The official state funeral for the former president kicks off right around 10 a.m. Eastern time here in Washington, D.C., Nick.
Tom Dempsey with the latest. Tom, thank you. We continue our breaking news coverage of the devastating wildfires destroying parts of Southern California. Next, we're live in L.A. with an update on the current conditions in the community hardest hit by these deadly flames.
Where are you headed?
Where am I headed? Am I just going to take what the market gives me? No, I can do some research.
You know, that's backed by JP Morgan's leading strategists, like us.
When you want to invest with more confidence, the answer is JP Morgan Wealth Management.
Whatever life throws your way, just click for your day.
At Morgan Stanley, old school hard work meets bold new thinking. Partnering to unlock new ideas, to create new legacies, to transform a company, industry, economy, generation. Because grit and vision, working in lockstep, puts you on the path to your full potential. Old school grit, new world ideas. Morgan Stanley.
Ever worry that you're drinking too much? Take back control with Or Health. Or Health provides access to medication proven to help. A daily pill to drink less, or to quit drinking altogether. Qualify for treatment at orhealth.com.
Yoo-hoo! No. That is against the HOA bylaws.
Bylaws, schmylaws. We're showing where Consumer Cellular gets great coverage.
You're making everything orange.
I know, right? We use the same towers as Big Wireless, so you get the same coverage. Difference is, our plan started just $20.
No, that can't be true.
But it is.
Wow. Well, I hope you're using primer.
Do we use a primer?
For unlimited talk and text with reliable coverage and your second month free, call Consumer Cellular.
Okay, everyone. Our mission is to provide complete balanced nutrition for strength and energy.
Ensure with 27 vitamins and minerals, nutrients for immune health, and Ensure Complete with 30 grams of protein.
Those 26 miles in the rain?
Yeah.
FrameBridge can frame that with custom framing made easy.
First in my class.
Let FrameBridge frame that, either in-store or online.
This is Italy, Japan, 2013.
Why not frame them? They'll frame any memento, large or small. Whether it's a pic or a Picasso, FrameBridge will frame it with the highest quality materials. Millions of custom frames and counting. Get started today at framebridge.com.
I'm certain it's level 5.
Are you for imprint certain?
I'm certain it's level 5.
Certainty matters, like the certainty of 4imprint, your home for high-quality promotional gear, including exclusive items and brands they love, printed perfectly and guaranteed to arrive on time. To wow your clients, nail your next event, or inspire your team, check out 4imprint.com.
4imprint, for certain.
Welcome back. 30 minutes after the hour. Right now, you're looking live at multiple fires burning around Los Angeles. It looks like little dots, right? Well, those are embers in the distance. Those are fires that are burning, and there are crews all over that area trying to contain the best they can. And right now, they're not having much luck. The wind is just not on their side. One of the newest to pop up overnight is another fire. Now, the Sunset Fire is burning near Hollywood Boulevard and the famed Hollywood sign. The two largest, the Palisades and the Eden fires, are still at 0% containment. At least 5 people are dead, a number that's expected to rise. And more than 2,000 homes and buildings have been destroyed or damaged. The strong winds fueling the fires and spreading them beyond the control of firefighters are expected to last until Friday night. NewsNation's Xavier Walton is on the ground in Pacific Palisades, one of the communities hardest hit by these fires. Xavier, good morning.
Hey, Nick, good morning. Yeah, just before we came on air with you, within the last 2 minutes, so this house has been burning all morning long. And if you go back into where this home is and you see the larger flames there, the back part of the home, there's one piece still standing, but the back wall just came crashing down. Huge bang, definitely startling. But I mean, Nick, it is still extremely early out here in California, so you have these orange glows and these large plumes of smoke going into the air. That's how we were able to find this location. And right now, as far as like the situation is going on, we've got a fire crew here still monitoring this place, really just making sure these embers don't catch the home next to it on fire. And that's something we witnessed repeatedly yesterday. The embers, obviously the wind is down a little bit today, but the embers would just get blown into.
Xavier Walton has been on the ground from the beginning. He's been there for the last 2 days just watching these different areas burn. He's in Pacific Palisades. Our affiliate, KTLA, has also been covering the fires since the fire started on Tuesday. We continue our live coverage with them. They've been following these fires live nonstop. Let's listen live on their coverage.
One of the victims' family members.
We've heard that as many as 5 firefighters have been injured fighting the Eaton fire over the last couple of days as well. One of the other things we have found out is that of the 5 victims that lost their lives in this fire, we were able to identify one of them earlier today. We in fact talked to the gentleman's younger sister and one of her friends. They were the 2 people that found this gentleman's body early this morning. We have some tape. We want to identify him too, so you know who we're talking about. This gentleman's name is Victor Shaw. He is 66 years old. He was not in good health. He had a lot of problems, was not able to move very quickly, but he was living with his younger sister, Sherry. They were in the same house together that had been in the family for generations. And they were together yesterday when that firestorm started to blow through the Altadena area. They waited a few minutes to see just how bad it was going to get. And then at one point, Sherry decided, we got to get out. She yelled to Victor, it's time to leave, and she fled. She said that she heard him yell that he was going to stay behind and try to fight the fire. That was, in fact, the last thing she heard from Victor, because he never emerged from the building again. This morning, Sherry and her friend Al went back to the property, and they found Victor's body. He was laying outside on the ground, and he still had the garden hose in his hands.
When I went back in and yelled out his name, he didn't reply back, and I had to get out because the embers were so big and flying like a firestorm that I had to save myself. And I looked behind me, and the house was starting to go up in flames, and I had to leave.
We actually did see him laying on the side of the road with the hose. It looks like he was trying to save the home that his parents had had for almost 55 years.
I fell to the ground, and I didn't want to look at him. They just told me that he was lying on the ground and he looked serene, as if he was at peace.
Unfortunately, Victor's body, though, is still up there on the grounds of that burned out home. The coroner's office has been unable to get up there and retrieve his body.
Once again, that was Rick Chambers reporting. Here is the latest on the Eaton fire. It has burned 10,600 acres. It has yet to be contained. In addition to the 5 deaths, authorities say there have been a number of significant injuries. At least 1,000 structures have been damaged. Also, customers of Pasadena Water and Power are being told not to drink or cook with tap water. The water system there may have debris in it that's not healthy to consume. They're advising people to only use bottled water.
This is the most destructive fire Los Angeles has ever seen, right there in the Palisades area.
Again, we've been listening to live coverage from our affiliate KTLA. We will continue our breaking news coverage on the catastrophic wildfires burning through Southern California, where fire crews from across the state and the country are rushing to aid in this largest fire. And it remains at 0% contained. We'll continue on the other side of this break.
If you take or have taken Humira for moderate to severe Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis and still have symptoms, you don't have to settle. Ask your gastroenterologist if switching to Rinvoq is right for you. It's one of the latest treatments from the makers of Humira. Rinvoq works differently than Humira and may help. Rinvoq is a once-daily pill that can deliver rapid symptom relief, lasting steroid-free remission, and helps visibly reduce damage of the intestinal lining.
Rinvoq can lower ability to fight infections. Before treatment, test for TB and do blood work. Serious infections, blood clots, some fatal, cancers including lymphoma and skin. Serious allergic reactions, GI tears, death, heart attack, and stroke occurred. CV event risk increases in age 50 plus with a heart disease risk factor. Tell your doctor if you've had these events: infection, Hep B or C, smoked, are pregnant, or planning. Don't take if allergic or have an infection.
Rapid symptom relief and lasting steroid-free remission are possible with Rinvoq. Ask your gastroenterologist if switching to Rinvoq is right for you. You could pay as little as $0 per month.
Watch your step. Oh. That's why VisionWorks makes it simple to schedule an eye exam that works for you, even if you have a big trip to plan around.
Thanks.
I mean, I could see you right now. That's convenient.
VisionWorks. See the difference.
My oldest daughter, Camilla, she came out fighting. 2 days old, she had to have open heart surgery. All of a sudden, she's on, 5 different medications. Me and the pharmacist got so tight. She said, GoodRx can save you a lot of money. Saving that extra $200-300 a month. You do the math, the money we're able to save with using GoodRx, we're able to do all these extra activities. She can hit hard, too, for a little skinny thing. So it puts less stress on our household, and it puts less stress on our pockets.
I wish my TV provider let me choose what I pay for.
Sling lets you do that.
I wish my TV provider let me choose what I pay for and let me pause my subscription when I want. Sling lets you do that. Yeehaw! I wish my TV provider let me choose what I pay for and let me pause my subscription when I want and have hundreds of free channels. Sling lets you do that too.
Choose and customize your channel lineup or watch for free. Sling lets you do that.
I brought in Ensure Max Protein with 30 grams of protein. Those who tried me felt more energy in just 2 weeks. Here, I'll take that.
Ensure Max Protein. 30 grams protein, 1 gram sugar, and a protein blend to feed muscles up to 7 hours.
The darkness of bipolar depression made me feel like I was losing interest in the things I love. Then I found a chance to let in the light.
Discover Caplyta. Unlike some medicines that only treat bipolar 1, Caplyta is proven to deliver significant symptom relief from both bipolar 1 and 2 depression. And in clinical trials, movement disorders and weight gain were not common.
Caplyta can cause serious side effects. Call your doctor about sudden mood changes, behaviors, or suicidal thoughts right away.
Antidepressants may increase these risks in young adults. Elderly dementia patients have increased risk of death or stroke. Caplyta is not approved for dementia-related psychosis. Report fever, confusion, or stiff muscles which may be life-threatening, or uncontrolled muscle movements which may be permanent. Common side effects include sleepiness, dizziness, nausea, and dry mouth. These aren't all the side effects.
In the darkness of bipolar 1 and 2 depression, Caplyta can help you let in the light. Ask your doctor about Caplyta. Find savings and support at caplyta.com.
Welcome back. 40 minutes after the hour, we continue our breaking news coverage of the California wildfires burning down entire neighborhoods and forcing tens of thousands of people to run for their lives. Right now, you're looking live at Pacific Palisades, where this structure continues to burn. And it's just one of many, and another example of how these fires are just being relentless, destroying everything in their path. At least 5 people have died and 2,000 homes and businesses have been destroyed. Right now, crews are fighting several fires around LA. It's been a coordinated effort from firefighters with neighboring states and counties chipping in to help, including Orange County Fire. Let's bring in Fire Captain Sean Doran from Orange County. Good morning, Captain Doran.
Good morning.
I know that this has been a stressful situation for you and your colleagues around the area. Can you talk to us about how overall the strategy is in moving and trying to fight these fires?
Yeah, well, I'm not specifically assigned to these fires. We are our county, our Orange County Fire Authority specifically, and our Orange County operational area is in master mutual aid with them and providing resources to these fires. And we've experienced obviously wind-driven fires. Southern California, the wildland fires are woven into our fabric, to our history, if you will, and they're not uncommon. However, this wind event, this red flag event, as you've seen, is historic. So the challenges that all the firefighters have faced and all the great work they've done in Los Angeles with their partners by them, it's been challenging. These winds, as we talk about over and over again, really preheat those fuels ahead of them. So it's like a chimney on its side. So you have the preheating of the top of that chimney coming across. The fuels are already dry. Those embers really build momentum and gain speed ahead of the fire. It is very challenging work, and we're very proud of the firefighters up there, and our hearts go out to those communities that are affected, because this is something that we just not have seen before.
So, Captain, you get the call from another agency, and then you immediately send guys, you deploy guys to help?
We do. So we're part of a mutual aid system out here in California that, at the very least, we describe as robust. And we've oftentimes been the beneficiaries of this aid with fires we've had down here in our area. And we're very quick to reciprocate with that aid. And also, our firefighters have done a great job of answering the call to duty to be here to staff our 78 fire stations to make sure our community is prepared, and we're vigilant about our preparedness while also allowing us to send resources to our partners in need.
Because Orange County is large in and of itself, because my guess is you still need to be ready and have a plan in place should you have a situation of your own.
Absolutely, and that's part of it. We always like to reassure our community that we are at the ready. We're fully staffed, again, every day with 78 fire stations full of people, including dozers, hand crews, our air operations section. We have a very deep bench, if you will. However, again, our firefighters answer the call to remain on duty, to come back to duty, so we can upstaff even more units to be available to send out of county, and also be pre-positioned here should the need arise for initial attack fire as well.
All right, Fire Captain Sean Doran, thank you so much for joining us this morning, helping us break this down.
Thank you, sir. Have a good day.
We continue to follow the latest on these devastating wildfires. More than 130,000 people forced to evacuate from their homes as neighborhoods go up in flames.
By 9:45, the sky was black, and there was a fire behind my house, which was enormous.
Actor Steve Guttenberg describing the moments the Palisade fire approached his home, what this experience has been like for him, and why he decided to stay behind to help evacuate others. Don't forget to download the NewsNation app to take us with you wherever you go. Breaking news and updates on all the big stories delivered right to your home screen. Stay up to date and watch anytime, anywhere at newsnationnow.com and in the app.
Our heart attack was scary.
Never want to go through that again.
But we could.
With heart disease, you never know.
So we made changes.
Green juice,
Diet, exercise.
statins helped, but our LDL-C, bad cholesterol, it was stuck. Just couldn't lower it enough. And high LDL-C
It meant a real risk of another attack. So I said, let's ask our doctor about Repatha.
What can I say? Listen to your heart.
Repatha plus a statin dramatically lowers LDL-C by 63% and drops the risk of having a heart attack by 27%. Do not take Repatha if you're allergic to it. Serious allergic reactions can occur. Get medical help right away if you have trouble breathing or swallowing, swelling of the face, lips, tongue, throat, or arms. Common side effects include runny nose, sore throat, common cold symptoms, flu or flu-like symptoms, back pain, high blood sugar, and redness, pain, or bruising at the injection site.
We won't let another heart attack set us back.
And neither should you.
Listen to your heart. Lower your LDL-C and your risk with Repatha. Talk to your doctor.
Ever worry that you're drinking too much? Take back control with Or Health. Or Health provides access to medication proven to help. A daily pill to drink less, or to quit drinking altogether. Qualify for treatment at orhealth.com.
Your record label is taking off, but so is your sound engineer. You need to hire.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Our advanced matching helps find talented candidates so you can connect with them fast. Visit Indeed.com/hire.
All right, let's settle down, everybody. Now that we have a completely new Homes.com with a beautiful new design and the most in-depth info, all we need now is a new name.
Do we?
So we're gonna lock the doors and stay late until we find that name that's synonymous with shopping for homes.
Here's a wild idea. Homes.com.
We're gonna go with Homes.com. We're gonna keep it. I love it. Fresh, innovative. This has been fun.
Ding dong.
Homes.com. We've done your homework.
If you take or have taken Humira for moderate to severe Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis and still have symptoms, you don't have to settle. Ask your gastroenterologist if switching to Rinvoq is right for you. It's one of the latest treatments from the makers of Humira. Rinvoq works differently than Humira and may help. Rinvoq is a once-daily pill that can deliver rapid symptom relief, lasting steroid-free remission, and helps visibly reduce damage of the intestinal lining.
Rinvoq can lower ability to fight infections. Before treatment, test for TB and do blood work. Serious infections, blood clots, some fatal, cancers, including lymphoma and skin. Serious allergic reactions, GI tears, death, heart attack, and stroke occurred. CV event risk increases in age 50 plus with a heart disease risk factor. Tell your doctor if you've had these events. Infection, Hep B or C, smoked, are pregnant, or planning. Don't take if allergic or have an infection.
Rapid symptom relief and lasting steroid-free remission are possible with Rinvoq. Ask your gastroenterologist if switching to Rinvoq is right for you. You could pay as little as $0 per month.
When my hair started to thin, I thought, am I gonna have any hair left?
After I gave birth, my hair wasn't even thin, it was gone.
When I spoke to my dermatologist, he immediately pointed me in the direction of Nutrafol.
It's 100% drug-free and clinically tested.
Within 3 months, my hair was fuller.
It's longer, it's so much thicker.
I had more scalp coverage.
It was so nice to be noticed for my hair after hiding it for so many years.
Start your hair growth journey at Nutrafol.com.
Oh, and I need these items printed with our logo by Friday.
Certainly.
Are you for imprint certain?
Well, we are for imprint.
Certainty matters, like the certainty of finding the perfect promo gear for gifting at 4imprint. Exclusive items and quality brands to wow your clients, your customers, and your team. Delivered on time. Go to 4imprint.com and find some wow now. 4imprint for certain.
Workers at the Pasadena Humane Society say they need help and supplies after taking in more than 100 animals displaced or hurt by these fires. And over the next few days, they're expecting to receive more animals in need of care. The shelter is also asking people to foster the pets, as many owners have lost their homes. The Humane Society says it has a plan in place for disasters, but the speed of the Eden fire caught them completely off guard. Actor Steve Guttenberg, known for his roles in films like Police Academy, is being hailed a hero in the Pacific Palisades community. He helped first responders deal with hundreds of cars abandoned on the roads that blocked fire crews. Here's the scene he described to NewsNation's Chris CUOMO.
It's good to see you, my friend. How are you?
You too, Chris. Good to see you again. And this is not the way I wanted to see you again. This is a really bad fire. It's the toughest I've ever seen. The winds are was hot and strong, and as strong as any South African wind, which is the strongest in the world. Devil winds. You could see a little pocket of fire on the side of a mountain. The wind comes in and just blows it apart, becomes a volcano. I just couldn't believe what I was seeing every day from today and yesterday. I thought today was going to die down. Yesterday at 9 o'clock in the morning, it was idyllic. By 9:45, the sky was black, and there was a fire behind my house, which was enormous. The Palisades Drive, which is the one way up to the Highlands, was 2 miles of traffic. Unbelievable. People were scared. People were had terrible anxiety, panic attacks. People in wheelchairs coming down. It was unbelievable. And everywhere people were leaving their cars. And the reason I want to go on and make a point is, if there is a crisis and you do abandon your car, leave the key in the car. So guys like me can take your car and park it to the side so these emergency vehicles and these fire vehicles can get through. And the second thing is, if you're able-bodied and you're strong, stay behind and help people. I was helping a man in a wheelchair that didn't have a footrest for his feet, and we had to do a wheelie to get him out. It's just terrible. It's really, really hard, really, really hard.
Steve, help us understand, what was the decision process for you in deciding you're okay, your loved ones are okay, I see behind you now, but that you were going to go back and start helping other people, and what did you wind up doing?
Well, I just I decided that I had to stay. You know, when you hear, someone scream down the hall, you've got to go help them. It's just something that is really important for me to do. When someone needs help and is in a wheelchair, how can you turn away from them? When a mother has terrible anxiety and a panic attack, she can't find her child. How do you turn away from them? So it was an easy decision.
You can watch CUOMO here on NewsNation weeknights at 8, 7 Central. Our coverage of the wildfires continues throughout the morning. The mayor of Los Angeles calling this the big one. We'll have more updates live from the ground and the emergency response to this disaster in just a bit. Plus, schools preparing for a more aggressive approach on undocumented immigrants from the incoming Trump administration. The messages some of the country's largest districts are sending to the families as the president-elect promises there will be no sanctuary from mass deportations.
Touches of black. They say a lot without having to say much. They stand for elegance, refinement, and prestige. Even a little can go a long way. And though they're darker than the darkest night, they make you see everything in a new light. The Kia X-Line Nightfall Collection.
Kia, movement that inspires.
Meet firefighter Andrew Washington. When lives depend on physical strength and mental sharpness, firefighters rely on Vinia, the red grape circulation superfood for better blood flow.
I've been taking Vinia for 6 months. It helps with blood flow. I can tell a huge boost.
Vinia significantly increases the dilation of arteries and delivers oxygen and essential nutrients to your brain and heart.
I've seen a huge difference. You have that energy all throughout the day, and we all love that.
Power your blood flow with Vinia capsules, coffees, and teas. Learn how to get your first month free.
Let's Monopoly go! Chris! Kiki! Ready, tycoons? It's go time! Cash grab!
Kiki, I won again?
Ah! Daddy will be back soon! We're swimming in it now!
Rinse do! Busted!
Nothing beats playing with friends, except bankrupting friends. Give it to me.
COVID-19. I'm not waiting. If it's COVID, Paxlovid.
Paxlovid is an oral treatment for adults with mild to moderate COVID-19 and a high risk factor for it becoming severe. It does not prevent COVID-19.
My symptoms are mild now, but I'm not risking it. If it's COVID, Paxlovid.
Paxlovid must be taken within the first 5 days of symptoms and help stop the virus from multiplying in your body.
Taking Paxlovid with certain medicines can lead to serious or life-threatening side effects or affect how it or other medicines work, including hormonal birth control. Tell your doctor about all medicines, vitamins, and herbal supplements you take, as certain tests or dosage changes of your other medicines may be needed. Tell them if you have kidney or liver problems, HIV-1, are or plan to be pregnant or breastfeed. Don't take Paxlovid if allergic to its ingredients. Stop taking and call your doctor right away if you have allergic reaction symptoms. Serious side effects can include allergic reactions, some severe like anaphylaxis, and liver problems. These are not all the possible side effects, so talk to your doctor.
If it's COVID, Paxlovid.
Ask your doctor today.
Watch your step. Oh. That's why VisionWorks makes it simple to schedule an eye exam that works for you, even if you have a big trip to plan around.
Thanks.
I mean, I could see you right now. That's convenient.
VisionWorks. See the difference.
You founded your kayak company because you love the ocean, not spreadsheets. You need to hire.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Our matching platform lets you spend less time searching and more time connecting with candidates. Visit Indeed.com/hire.
At Morgan Stanley, old school hard work meets bold new thinking. Partnering to unlock new ideas, to create new legacies, to transform a company, industry, economy, generation. Because grit and vision, working in lockstep, puts you on the path to your full potential. Old school grit, new world ideas. Morgan Stanley.
Welcome back. We're continuing to follow breaking news out of Southern California, where at least 5 people have been killed in an outbreak of wildfires. Right there in the distance, you can see NewsNation reporter Xavier Walton, who has been covering these fires since yesterday. Thousands of firefighters and emergency personnel are responding, including some from other states. More than 130,000 people are under evacuation orders. Officials say this could end up being California's worst disaster in history. We'll have more updates coming at the top of the hour. President-elect Donald Trump's inauguration is in only 11 days. Mr. Trump has said his day one priority will be the mass deportation of undocumented immigrants. As a result, school districts nationwide are preparing for ICE agents to potentially round up students. New York City, home to the country's largest school district, has been sharing protocols to try and shield kids. NewsNation weekend anchor Anna Koyman is here. Anna, can ICE agents actually go into schools and snatch up kids?
Okay, so of course you're referring to agents from Immigration and Customs Enforcement, Nick. Good morning to you. Good morning to everybody at home. And that's really the question. So right now, superintendents and immigration advocacy groups are anxiously awaiting to see how fast and how far Trump's mass deportation plans will go. Could ICE agents be coming into schools, rounding up kids whose families are living in this country illegally? And how would this impact other students watching all of this unfold? Well, NewsNation spoke to the president of the largest teachers union in the Southeast. Here's what she said about those possibilities.
We know that families and communities and children are anxious, and this creates another level of anxiety and vulnerability in our classrooms and in our communities. It is certainly a topic that, although it may not be talked about publicly, it's certainly happening in kitchen tables and, you know, in dining room tables.
But what I'd really like our viewers to do is take a look at our screen now, because a 2011 memo from the then ICE director, John Morton, talked about implementing a more restrained approach to immigration enforcement, saying, quote, "This policy is designed to ensure that these enforcement actions do not occur at nor are focused on sensitive locations such as schools and churches unless exigent circumstances exist." That would be like an immediate threat or if prior legal approval had been given. But still, Nick, with these details foggy about how Trump's deportation plans will be carried out, we've got school districts across the country, particularly those with large migrant populations, really on high alert on this and gearing up.
Yeah, and what are school officials saying?
Well, we did speak with a superintendent for Mount Diablo schools. That's in Concord, California. And he said just the idea of all this is really becoming a distraction inside the classroom. Also, other programs that they would prefer to be delegating resources to are every so often taking a back seat to this very issue. Dr. Adam Clark says that his job is to alert staff, give them information, but also let families who are migrants here in this country know what their rights are.
can impact a 5, 6, 7-year-old on the playground, you know, by kids just mimicking what they hear, but then also by our 16, 17, 18-year-olds who, you know, are ready to make this next step into real life, and they may be worried about their own status or status of their parents or of a sibling or other relatives or friends or things like that.
He said it could be really unsettling also for immigrants in this country who are legal. They just might not have their papers on them. Now, I do want to mention I spoke to the incoming border czar, Tom Homan, on my weekend programming a few weeks ago. And he said, yes, these deportations are going to begin on day one. They will be starting with violent criminals. Of course, kids inside classrooms, Nick, are not violent criminals. But as far as ICE agents coming into classrooms, it's yet to be seen. So we're following the story, and the details will be unfolding for sure.
And we'll keep an eye on all of it. Anna, thank you so much. And of course, you can watch Anna Koyman every Saturday and Sunday at 1 p.m. Eastern, 12 p.m. Central. And this weekend, Anna digs deeper on how these day one deportations could play out. It's now the top of the hour. That means we have more news for all Americans. And guess what? It starts right now.
The embers were so big and flying like a firestorm that I had to save myself.
Right now, multiple quick-moving fires are burning through Los Angeles, a new one popping up overnight.